Hey you guys, gals, and bums. Welcome back to A Few Bad Men. Today, I'm going to give you just a little something to hold you over to the weekend. All right? Where I give you guys something really good. All right? I'm going to bless you guys this week because to show my appreciation for all the love and support that I've been getting for the channel so far. Okay? Today, I'm going to give you my top 10 mob movies of all times. Like I said, this is my top 10. This may not be your top 10, but that's okay, all right? You can leave your top 10 in the comments below. So a lot of the movies that I like, are set in the 20s and 30s, early part of the century. I just love to see that time on film. I love the cars, the clothes, everything about that time. And any movie that can bring that out and bring that time to life for me, that'll make it onto my list, okay? All right, so let's get to it. All right. My number 10 mob movie of all times is going to be a controversial one. Just came out. It's The Irishman, all right? It's a story of Frank Sheeran, hitman, for Russell Buffalino, okay? Now, I know that a lot of this stuff in the story ain't true, okay? Sheeran didn't do all of the stuff that he said he did. But for me, this is the only movie that ever showed Angelo Bruno, and it's a young Angelo Bruno. It shows Skinny Razor. Now, I'm a Philly guy, so these guys are from Philly, and it's good to see that. They also talk about the Jew mob, which was Max Boo Boo Hoff and Nigger Rosen and those guys. So it's like a Easter egg movie for mob nerds. Okay, they show the Anastasia hit, they show the Gallo hit. Those are the things that make me like this movie. Okay, so that's my number 10 movie. It's The Irishman, directed by Martin Scorsese, with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino and Joe Pesci. You can't go wrong with that lineup right there, all right? And you'll probably see those same guys throughout a bunch of these movies because they made some of the best mob movies, and you know it. My number 9 mob movie of all times is Hoodlum. Came out in 1997, and it's the story of Bumpy Johnson, all right? Bumpy Johnson was a criminal in Harlem in the days, but it also tells the story of one of the stories of Dutch Schultz and that fight between the black gangsters and the Jewish gangsters in the 30s as the Dutchman was trying to take over the policy racket in Harlem. Excellent job by Lawrence Fishburne as Bumpy Johnson and Cicely Tyson as Stephanie St. Clair. And Tim Roth did a great job as Dutch Schultz, I thought, in this movie. My number 8 mob movie of all times is Casino. All right. What can you say about Casino? Casino speaks for itself. All right. It's a great portrayal of Sam Ace Rothstein and Joe Pesci playing Anthony Spilatro, but they call him Nicky Santoro in the movie. But it's Anthony Spilatro and the Hole in the Wall gang and the whole mob controlled Vegas in the 70s and early 80s. I love it. You can't go wrong with Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, and Martin Scorsese. You can't go wrong with that. So, my number 7 mob movie of all time is Donnie Brasco. Okay, this is the story of Joe Pistone, FBI agent who infiltrates the Bonanno crime family. All right, great job. Great job. It's a true story. You gotta read the book. The book is much better. Stars Al Pacino and Johnny Depp. It came out in 1997. Great movie. You gotta see it. My number 6 mob movie of all time is Billy Bathgate. All right. Now this is the story of Dutch Schultz again. A lot of great movies in history about Dutch Schultz. This is the story of Dutch Schultz again, but this is the story of Dutch Schultz going to trial and getting taken over. This is the end of Dutch. This is him getting taken over by the Italians. And I love it because they show Bo Weinberg in the movie. And it's just a great period flick. Beautifully done. It brings out the 30s. You really see it in the movie. All right, one of my favorite. Now my number 5 movie is a classic. It's number 1 on a lot of people's lists, but it ain't on mine. All right, that's The Godfather. Classic. I don't really have to say too much about The Godfather. If you ain't seen The Godfather, I don't know what you're doing on this channel. But you need to go see The Godfather. Great tale, great story, classic. My number 4 mob movie of all time is Goodfellas. All right, tells the story of the Paul Vario crew in Queens in the 60s and 70s, 80s. Wonderful. Wonderful. I can't say anything. This is one of the movies that if it comes on, you watch. I don't care where it is in the movie. I'm watching the movie. Great. Once again, Robert De Niro. You know, what can you say? Goodfellas. Now, my number 3 mob movie of all times is The Cotton Club. All right. Once again, this is a Dutch soap story. All right. But this is the Dutch soap story that tells the story of the war between Vincent Mad Dog Cole and Dutch Schultz. All right. And Vincent Mad Dog Cole and Oni Madden. All right. So this is that story in The Cotton Club in Harlem in the 1930s. Excellent performances by Richard Gere, Nicolas Cage, and Gregory Hines. Great music, great visuals, great movie. If you haven't seen The Cotton Club, you gotta go check it out. It also does a great job of showing the tap dance culture of Harlem in the 1930s. Wonderful film. My number 2 favorite mob movie of all times is The Godfather Part 2. All right, I put this one over The Godfather Part 1 basically because they show the rise of Vito Corleone and they go back into the early parts of the 20th century, which I love, and they bring it out. And those scenes in the 20s, those are my favorite scenes. The young Robert De Niro scenes. I love that movie ever since I was a kid when I first saw it. Godfather Part 2, my number 2 favorite mob movie of all times. Now, my number 1 favorite mob movie of all times is Once Upon a Time in America, starring Robert De Niro and James Wood. All right. To me, no other movie captures the early parts of the century in New York, the 10s, the 20s. All right. No other movie captures it like this movie. You really feel like you're there. Okay. Like I told you, this is my time. That's the time that I like to talk about and learn about. No other movie takes you there like this movie. Tells the story of Jewish gangsters who get into bootlegging, and then after bootlegging is over, they get into labor racketeering. All right, it's a great movie. My number 1 mob movie of all times. Whenever it's on, I can watch it the whole 4 hours, whatever. So that is my top 10 favorite mob movies of all times. Leave your top 10 in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Share the video. All right. I just gave you this video in the middle of the week to hold you over because this week I got something special for you guys. All right. If you guys are into mob history, you know who this guy is, and you want to hear the story that I'm going to tell on this guy. I'm not going to tell you now. You got to stay tuned for this weekend. All right. This is A Few Bad Men. Keep your nose clean and don't take any wooden nickels. I'll see you next time.